What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to Gibraltar United. Now it's been quite a while since I last left you off. I said I'd meet you around the Lions and Lynx game and we're actually now halfway through the season. No real reason for that, it's just I sort of just wanted to play on a little bit further. So we've got quite a bit to go through today. We'll go into the transfers first because I released an absolute bucket load of people. As you can see, we got rid of a lot of people on free transfers. We did loan out Michael Cardoza, who was the youngster who was in the squad or around the squad. He wasn't the youngster that came on, but yeah, he was in and around the squad this season. Actually played 3 times for us. But Man 62 came in with a loan deal. When was it? I think a few days ago. Yeah, 5 days ago. So he's been at Man 62 for 5 days. Hopefully he'll get games there. That is of course the ideal situation. Man 62 are a team fighting to get back into the Premier Division. So I felt that was a really good loan move for him. He'll be playing with good players, surrounded by good players, and plus in the second division, Man 62 are currently second. Although that could change come, you know, the time where everyone's played 13 games. But it's a good team to go to, and I think it's the right team to go to for this youngster. But apart from that, you will not recognise anyone else's name in this long list of players, I don't think. Roberts was the guy who was on the bench, of course, in the Champions League second qualifying phase. I released him. He is currently at Leo FC. A lot of these guys probably are at teams. Some of them, actually, the majority of them probably are not. Although he's a Europa point. You know, I could go through all of them and have a look, but like, I didn't do that beforehand. I'm not going to do it now. I'm just looking through the names. I don't think there is anyone in there who you would actually notice. So yeah, it's just been a load of people who never really made it as youth players, or in fact were youth players, and I just released them because they were never going to make it here, and there's no point me keeping those who aren't going to make it. So in the league we have been doing really good. We have currently won 5, drawn 1, and lost 1, so an improvement from last season. Scoring 24 goals, so banging in a lot of goals. Conceding 10, so we're still conceding quite a few. In fact, we've conceded the 4th most in the league, with Olympique, Lions, and Lincoln all conceding less goals than us. So that's still a bit of a worrying point, the fact that we're conceding as many goals. We have also lost as well quite early on in the season, which again disappoints me. And when you see who the defeat is against, it's relatively disappointing. Currently Lincoln are the only team undefeated in the league, and of course I'd love for that to change very quickly, because I do not want them to be the first team since I've been here to get an undefeated season. I don't know if there's anyone's ever done that before in the Gibraltarian leagues. Feel free to tell me if they have, but yeah, I definitely don't want to see that happen to Lincoln. So when we play them next, we'll be going out for a full frontal assault. But let's go through the results. So we started off in the Pepe Reyes Cup, and I slightly changed a few instructions for the tactic, not nothing too drastic, and we won 4-0 against Angels, which was a really good result, and it was a performance that didn't exactly look too comfortable. You know, they only had 1 shot on target, so that definitely made things a lot easier. Gareth Clark as well, the young kid who started for us. He actually came on for Callum Gregory after 34 minutes, which gave Callum Gregory, I think, a 3-month injury for a pulled hamstring. So you know, it's never good seeing one of your main strikers, if not one of the best players in your whole team, get injured. But when the replacement could come off the bench and score 2 goals in the second half, that's really encouraging signs for anyone. So following that, we won 3-1 in our first game of the season against Olympique. Then we lost our first game of the season, 4-1 to College Europa, and this game was the most frustrating game. And honest to God, it frustrated me to the point where I wanted to fine every single player in his starting 11, but I couldn't find a quick way to do it. So in the end, I ended up fining Gareth Lopez and Tom Harrison, I believe, out of the starting 11. And the reason for that is because we went 2-0 down after 13 minutes. Then they got a man sent off, and we couldn't perform. They played, was it 60 minutes of the match with 10 men, and we couldn't outperform them. And the wingers, one of them was a defender. Okay, they made a change. They must have sacrificed a striker or a midfielder or something. But either way, you know, if they sacrificed a striker, why are we still going on to concede 2 goals? If they sacrificed a midfielder, why are we still not dominating the game? There was no excuse for us not winning this game, especially once the man had been sent off. In fact, it took us the 72nd minute when we were 3-0 down to actually score a goal. And at that point, I think I was playing a formation with like 3 strikers, 2 right attacking mid, left attacking mid, a centre mid, and 4 defenders. And we still couldn't score enough goals. It was so frustrating. And at this point, I did again change the tactic quite a lot. I completely Not completely changed, but I changed up a few roles and things, and I think I changed up a few roles. I can't quite remember. It was a little while ago since I actually did it, but I changed up a few things. We'll look at the tactic in a second, but it really showed them. You know, it showed the change to me when we won 8-2. Still conceded 2 goals. When you look at how many people scored, Colin got 3. We got 2 from set pieces with Harrison and Smith. Lopez going on the scoring. Duarte, Clark, you know, we've got a lot of goals, and after that 5-0 and 3-0 to Lions, especially Lions, really tricky team, of course, in the past, so to beat them 3-0 was really good. We did draw 2-2 to Gillingham. Not the best result, of course. Like I said, you know, they are the only undefeated team, and when you take into consideration the fact that we took the lead twice, and in fact we were pretty dominant throughout the game, it was really frustrating to see us concede 2. But look at the ratings of Tom Harrison. Not really good enough. Or Matthew Smith. Not good enough in any way. So 2-2 was at least decent there. We didn't lose in a way, which was alright. We beat Britannia 2-1 in the last league game I've previously played before we entered the cup spell. In our group, we didn't start off in any good light at all. We drew 1-1 with Lions, and we had to come back from behind. Lions only had 1 shot in the whole game, and it was the goal that gave them the lead. And the thing is, we didn't look particularly great. We had a lot of shots, yes, but look how many shots on target we had. And in the end, it was a set piece with Jose Luis Enrique, I think, scoring from a free kick. It could have been a free kick or a corner, I can't remember. But yeah, he ended up scoring from a set piece to give us the draw in this group. So really fortunate here to walk away with a point, which again, it's not good enough. It really isn't. It's just not acceptable when you consider the fact of how good we were pretty much defensively throughout the game. You know, 1 shot, to limit them to 1 shot shows that we were either really good defensively or they were just terrible attacking. But we need to show a little bit more going forward. Then we come up against College Europa and we drew 3-3. And this was, again, a very frustrating game. Tom Harrison got himself sent off in the 12th minute. And from the resulting penalty that came from that incident, they scored it, and then they scored in the 16th minute as well. So again, we were 2-0 down against College Europa. This time we were the team down to 10 men and really needed something to happen. We then fell 3-0 behind quickly after half time, but thankfully for us, Victor Lopez pretty much scored from kickoff with a well-worked goal from the team, and Matthew Smith and then super sub Callum Gregory were able to get us back on track and get us at least a point. But it did mean in the Senior League Cup, going into the last game of the cup, we needed to win to go through, and we did that quite convincingly. A 4-0 victory against Lynx. Callum Gregory in his first start since returning, managing to score 2 goals, and Terry Brown also getting 2. So through to the next round of that, just about. Honest to God, it's in our worst performance in this cup since we've entered it. Very fortunate. If Lions have actually beaten, did they draw? Who did they draw to? Look at that. If any of these teams had beaten us, especially the College Europa game where we were down to 10 men, we would have been out of the cup. And it was just, you know, so many things could have gone wrong here. We were so lucky, pretty lucky to get the draw against Lions due to the fact we couldn't score. So it's been a tricky year still a little bit. So we've got this guy at Livecom today against Olympique. I want to talk about the squad quickly. We've currently got an injury to Whitbread. So surrounding some of the players, Gareth Clark, has been a really good player for us. When he's played, in fact, he's played quite a bit because, like I said, Gregory was out injured for, I think 3 months, wasn't it? Let me go on his injuries. He's picked up 2 injuries this year, which have kept him out. He tore a hamstring for 3 months, and he twisted his ankle, which kept him out for 5 months. So Callum Gregory has really been sort of missed this year in a way, because he's a really good player. But then if you look at his replacement, Clark has had 9 starts and scored 8 goals, 3 assists as well. Really good display from the 16-year-old. I mean, I doubt he'll ever become anything incredible for the team, but it's still good to see that if I need be, I can call upon my youngsters and they can perform at this level. Now, we haven't had particularly great performances either elsewhere on the pitch. As you can still see, Sean Montgomery is out injured. He's currently tore a calf muscle, which isn't particularly great, and his sort of poor injuries continue. It's actually his first bad injury in a long time, but it's kept him out for a long time, and we really need him in the team. Victor just isn't really performing right now. And the fact is, Victor as well has been injured quite a bit, and at one point we had Catania, our right back, playing at right midfield, and in fact for one game we pushed Lopez up there just to see what we could do because Catania couldn't play there. We had no other right midfielder in the team. It was really troubling times. As you can see, Baldwin isn't performing particularly well either. I'm actually going to put Barcelo in. I wanted to see if I could really push Baldwin through. He's got great potential, the lad, but just not really been performing as of late. So I think he performed well in the last match. I don't know why I'm dropping him. I just remembered. But No, we can't. We don't want you in. But yeah, it's not been as consistent this year, which is a little bit worrying. Your guys in the comments actually persuaded me to change Burgess around. You guys pointed out that his potential had grown, and you were like, oh, you know, I can't the name. You always comment in my videos. I can't remember your name. It's so poor. It's so frustrating. You know who you are when I say this. But you pointed out how Burgess his potential had grown from 4 or 4.5 star to like 5 star or something like that, and that you said that you reckoned he would become a gold star pretty soon. So I decided, you know what, yeah, I'm going to go with your advice. And the thing is, after I read your comment, after I read your comment and I continued forward a bit, like, or some, you know, at a certain point, I don't remember when it was, but I looked back at him and he actually had a 1-star ability. And I thought, you know what, yeah, we'll go with him. I think it was before the start of the season, because I remember I played him in the first game of the season and he was crap beyond belief. This game against Lions Pilots. No, that's not the game. It was this game. Sorry, yeah, look. He played him in the first game of the season against the team we're playing today, and he played abysmally. Abysmally? That's not even a word, is it? But he played dreadfully. And look at College Europa. It was atrocious. It's just, I was so tempted just to drop him and just forget about him, even though you guys had recommended that I should keep him in. But then you look at other performances, you know, the 3 after that, the one previously against Lynx. He's not been playing too bad since then. But yeah, it was very close for me just completely dropping him. Even though you guys sort of convinced me to put him back in, some of his performances weren't great. But another reason why I've sort of put him in is because Burns' rating and ability has sort of dropped a little. And I've noticed this throughout the team. Like Harrison's, you can see Harrison's current ability is dropped down. He's no longer up to, I think it was 4.5 star at one point, or 4 star. He's now 3 star. And so I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means the players' maximum potentials are getting better in this squad. I don't know if it means players in the league are now getting better, so our players are dropping in retrospect or in relation to them. So I don't know what it means, but it could be encouraging signs. The fact that he's apparently not as an important player, because really his stats haven't really changed too much. But apparently the players around him might be getting better. I don't know. We'll have to see, obviously. Now I have to put a goalkeeper in. So who is it? It is you, isn't it? The guy I can't really pronounce. Who's going to come on the bench today. But let's go in and we'll have a look at the tactic as well. So I'm still controlling, I'm still flexible team shape. Team instructions, I believe I changed. We now play with a lower tempo, just retain possession. We play wider, we get stuck in, and we close down more. I decided defensively we were not good enough, so I changed that to close down more to try and counteract that. Also, player roles, I do remember the few I changed. We no longer play centre defenders defend. We now play as limited defenders defend. And I think I might have changed a few player instructions. I'm not too sure. Although I highly doubt it. Shoot less often, stay wider, shoot less often, dribble less with the ball. I think I might have tinkered around with a few of these, but I can't quite remember. But either way, the tactic is nearly working. It's just a few, you know, poor defensive displays. Harrison as well, not having a great season in certain, well, not having great games in certain games, as you could see by his form. You know, he got him getting sent off. You know, being partially to blame for the Lincoln game. Where else is not done particularly good? The Lions Pilot game, is that before the start of the season? That was before the start of the season. What was this match? College Europa, where we had a dreadful match defensively. He was partly to blame. Even Britannia hit the goal was sort of for his fault. It's just a lot of things have been sort of his fault. Even though we have won the game, and overall you couldn't really, you know, if you looked at his game as a full 90, you go, yeah, all right, it wasn't too bad. But then that one mistake, you know, can change everything, and we can't really be having that. So going to today's game, we're playing a team who are currently 4th. As it said there, they could go into the actually they are in the Europa League spot, aren't they? Yeah, they are. But they could drop out of it if they lose and other teams win and things like that. They're playing a 4-4-1-1. I don't recognise anyone in there. So I don't actually think there's anyone particularly great. I think Ruiz is a player. No, obviously he's a player, but I thought he was a player who represented the national team. I thought I might have recognised Rumbo as well, but I don't. So let's go into this, apply the advice there, do the team talk, Marcus, and let's go. Let's hopefully win our 8th game of the league season and hopefully continue to try and get ourselves further away from Lincoln, who are just 1 point behind us currently. And we cannot afford really to drop any points. So here's Coling very early on in the game, unable to outjump his defender. And highlight died, highlight ended. Come on, Coling, give us the lead. Free kick. Oh my god, the fact that that has gone in is just wow. Great goalkeeping there. And Ruiz is obviously blamed for that goal. Look at that, over the wall. Not a particularly great free kick. His body's behind it and everything, Ruiz. But oh well, Coling gets another goal to add to his name this season. And maybe he can get a secondary. Plays out wide to Victor. And it's crossed back in. Coling was there, but Gregory is able to get the sort of clearance or interception from the defender. And makes it 2-0. It looked like it was a ball from Victor returning the service to Coling. But the interception from the defender didn't have to stop that, but only for it to fall to Gregory, who thumped that one in the back of the net. Finally, I'm really happy to have got my main two men back, Gregory and Coling. You know, Clark has done well this year, but he's not going to be someone that's going to help the club long term. He's not going to be that incredible player we need that will push us to the past the second qualifying phase. So, you know, I want to be playing Gregory and Coling as much as I can up front. As Brown, surely, oh my god, Brown unable to get that one in. Coling gets it in. Is it offside? I don't think it is. And we make it 3-0. Brown, honestly, I don't know how Brown didn't score his opportunity there. I think it lagged a little on the recording as well. But how Brown didn't convert this, I have no idea. But Coling makes no mistake about it. With an open goal, he thumps that one in. I've seen players miss chances like that before, and I'm pretty sure I've live com games where people have missed chances with open nets. But we managed to convert that one, which is good. And we're putting in a really, really impressive display today. Look at that, limiting them to only one shot, not even a shot on target. As Coling makes it 3-0. Hopefully they'll count that as Coling's goal. They do. It is absolutely brilliant. He's got his hat-trick in the first half. And his 14th goal of the season. Look at that. I don't know what his league goals currently stand at. We can look at that at the end of the game. But Coling has had a few games a bit like last year where he didn't perform or hasn't performed, and as a result we haven't looked particularly great. He's got a few like 6.2s I think, or 6.4s, but you know, you're seeing a bit of a good performance like you did I think last year at this stage. You're seeing a good attacking display from us, and as a result you're seeing us you're seeing the best side of us this season, when potentially there's always that chance you could see us having a bad game and me getting quite annoyed as a team, as Coling manages to convert his second free kick of the game. And you know what? With pretty much the whole second half still to play, he could arguably get a double hat-trick. Brilliant free kick from Coling. It's a lot better than his first one. To beat the goalkeeper as well at his post is really poor goalkeeping. It's poor for the first free kick when it went over the wall, but his body was right behind him. But that one, he shouldn't be beaten from that post when he set the wall up to defend the other. The game's really, really died down now. And you know what? I can actually do this. I don't really do this enough, but we could ask him to take a breather. No, it's fine. We'll just keep them going their way they're going. We'll just keep them chugging along, and we should just see out this game, as we could arguably score from every attack you see on this highlight. Phillips with a slight knock for them. Maybe this could be their first chance we actually see. They have had a shot on target. They've actually had one more shot in comparison to the last half. You know what? They're passing the ball around pretty well, and no one's really putting too much pressure on them. Managing to find the gaps and stuff. In fact, they could have a dig here. And wow, actually, they will score. Look at that. That was poor from us. We just allowed them to play the ball. And defensively, when they got near our box, we weren't great. Look at that. You could see both of the centre-backs there. When this guy had the ball, both centre-backs were over on his side. But it's another rebound goal, and it's disappointing to see us concede. But I guess we'll get 3 points, you know, I guess. In fact, apparently Coling can be blamed from that goal. Dale Coling. That's strange. Normally you don't see things like that from rebound goals. Oh no, no. That's the last thing I needed. We'll take Barcelo, and we will we'll bring Norton Rumbo on as well, why not? Oh, might as well give him a rare game. Nick Norton Rumbo seems to have just been here now for years, but he's been unable to actually get in the starting 11 too much for us. Rarely features, and if he does, it's something like this, you know, the last few minutes of a match. I think this will be the last highlight of the game. Smith looks like he headed the ball the wrong direction there. And yeah, the keeper's collected that one quite comfortably. So 5-1, at the end of the day, good result. Would obviously love to keep the clean sheet, but as I said, in comparison to last year, we're just looking to do a lot better. You know, if we can keep it where we lose one game in this season, and you know, draw maybe 3 or 4, I say that's better, because last year we looked so shaky. I was really worried about it. Actually, I haven't spoken about our improved facilities. Let me check on. Oh no, he's picking up so many injuries as of late, and the thing is that can kill a player's career. I do not need that. Let's hope his physicals stay intact, and obviously his main stats. But that's the last thing we need. Gregory picking up a load of long-term injuries. Look how many games he's played this year in comparison to the past few years. I mean, he's still got a good average rating, don't get me wrong, and still scoring in or being involved in about 1.5 goals a game. But that's the last thing I need. But yeah, let's talk about the club. Really, I've completely forgot about that. Our facilities have been upgraded and they have been improved, and that's where I'll wrap this one off. So we now have basic training facilities, and we have a poor youth facilities. I don't know if I mentioned the junior coaching. It's been improved now. I think I did. It's been improved twice since the start of the game. It's now adequate junior coaching, which obviously will help bring in good or better regen. So again, I'm looking forward to the youth intake this year, which should happen in about a month or two. I think it normally happens around February in Gibraltar. Well, that's when I typically get them. I don't know about the rest of the teams. But yeah, we've got basic training facilities. We'll be looking to try and improve that in either next season. Well, hopefully at the end of next season, we'll probably ask the board to improve it. We'll save up maybe this year, see if we can turn pro, and you know, take it from there. But yeah, we're getting them better now. I don't think we have the best yet. I still think Lincoln have the better facilities. As you can see, adequate training. Adequate training. There we go. And look at that, they've got average junior coaching, so we definitely need to improve our junior coaching if we can again. If we could do it before, actually. See, yeah, I can't ask again. I could ask for professional status, actually. Let's see what he says. There you go. I'm going to say enhance the prestige. I'm going to say this passionately as well. I don't know if these change things, but I'll say it like this. Although we... There you go. Wait. Oh, no. Although we agree with your logic, the club's prestige would in fact be risked by financial insecurity. He didn't say this last time. After all I've done for this... I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it calmly. We appreciate all you've done for this club, but we still don't think your request, god damn it, if I can speak, is valid. You're aware the fans are behind me and want the same for the club. Although the fans are happy with you, we feel that they'll be able to cope if we don't. I can't stress how important I believe this is. Yeah, I can't pretend I'm disappointed, but I understand. God damn. What a shame. Looks like I can maybe break him down. Financially, we're projected to probably lose about... what I did is I've been calculating how much we've lost since the injector money happens near the end of the season or the Champions League stage. And I think last year we lost around, I think it was about 100,000, I think it was. I think it was over, actually, near like 1,500. 1,500? 150,000, sorry, pounds. And I imagine this year it'll be, again, about a range of £150,000 to £200,000. So we're losing quite a bit of money, and soon the Champions League second qualifying phase probably won't be sustainable enough. Now, that's quite worrying when you sort of consider the fact that, you know, I want to turn professional. But if the second qualifying phase, I said it before, I said it way back, I said if the second qualifying phase isn't sustainable enough, turning pro won't be an appropriate option. So, or a viable option, because it will cripple the club financially. So it's going to be sort of weird. I'm going to have to really watch the finances for the upcoming year. I think we may be getting some new, we may get some new sponsorship deals at the end of the year. What year is it? 2020? No, it's 2020 now, isn't it? We could get an additional kit sponsor, I don't know, but the big ones will definitely be in 2021, where we'll hopefully improve our kit sponsor and maybe even a stadium sponsor. But yeah, we're not making enough money really to sustain being pro. We're going to have to try and improve, you know, this stage of the competition. But either way, guys, this will be it for now. Next time I will meet you back will probably be, I don't know, end of season update. I might just do an end of season update. Get to the Champions League a little bit quicker. But either way, guys, until then, peace out. I could